Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the pimpiest of the pimps, Christian Weston Chandler. There's going to be a new Christian Weston Chandler documentary heading out on YouTube pretty soon. And what do I think about it, what I want to see from it, and what's going on with it? First off, if you don't know who Christian Weston Chandler is, aka Christian Weston Chandler, well, actually, he's Christopher Weston Chandler, but he saw a automated bear at a mall, and the mall bear thought it was Christian, so he legally changed his name to Christian because he thought it was a message from God. But I digress. He's kind of like the original lolcow of the internet, and before there was a Wings, before there was a DSP, there was a Christian Weston Chandler. He's a highly functioning autistic man, and let's just say that he's got into a lot of shenanigans and antics throughout the years with trolls online and with his comic books. He is the original creator of Sonichu, the animated series, and, well, not animated, the comic book series, and a mixture of a hedgehog and a Pokemon. Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog merged together to make Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon. Now, I just want to be technical here. Technically, since he goes by Christine now, but just for legacy purposes, let's call him Chris Chan. Chris Chan also has this thing going now where he's part of a different dimension, apparently, the dimensional merge. Technically speaking, he's not from this dimension anymore, so in reality, any of us can claim Sonichu as our own rightful creation, since Chris Chan isn't of this earth, this dimension per se. So anyways, there's going to be a documentary on him. Now, this isn't the first time there's been a documentary on Christian Weston Chandler. There's a lot of good documentaries on YouTube. One I recommend you watching, I'm going to butcher his name, okay, so I'm sorry if you're watching this, my dude. Sachumo, the Chris Chan documentary. It has like a color pastel thumbnail of Chris Chan looking back into you, and it has that impact font bold thumbnail. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link in the description, or I'll link it at the end of the video, and it has over 2 million views. I watched that one. It's like an hour long. Really good documentary. Go watch that one. There's a lot of other documentaries too from other people, new Christorians that have jumped into the fray. Gino Samuel, that part 8 of his documentary was uploaded like a week ago. That's at 20,000 views. Procrastara, another Christorian, I guess, putting up their documentary. So there's a lot of documentaries here on YouTube about Chris Chan, and I could explain. Hell, I might even make my own Chris documentary, since that's what's popular and everyone's doing that, right? But I digress. They do a really good job of explaining what he's been through his life and what the trolls have done to him throughout his entire, internet career, I guess you could say. And yeah, some of the highlights, I think, or low points, was the time he went on a date with a girl with his father, and a guy just in a pickle suit stole her away from him. That was an interesting watch. The time when the Julie troll, that was an interesting one, where the trolls managed to get the footage of him having a sexual intercourse with a blow-up doll. That was a thing. There was the time where he drew a pornographic picture of him having sex with his friend, Megan, which is important for later in the video. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to the Chris Chan story, but let's get on to the documentary, what we're really here for. The documentary is being made on Kickstarter, so you could fund this, like any good documentary, it's going to be crowdfunded, like every other good thing, like the Ouya, the Atari VCS, right? And it was started by Joseph Draft. I don't know who this guy is. And there is a trailer up on the Kickstarter, and I'm going to let you guys see a little snippet of it so you guys can see it.
Hello, I record this message. It was in response to the Encyclopedia Dramatica page that has been against me. Every detail on that heinous page against me is all a pack of lies.
At first, he couldn't talk. So he was trained with a speech therapist. His behavior was not normal. I wasn't aware of all that was going on at first.
Now he seems like a totally different person to me.
And yeah, that's the trailer. It's a lot more, I want to say, professional. Like, I'm not like banging on the other guys or anything, but there's going to be interviews with Chris, obviously, with his mom and other people and other Christorians for that matter. You know, there's gonna be like a big collab here potentially. One of the like big moments at the end of the trailer was Megan is actually in the trailer and she's speaking about Chris, and Megan being interviewed and being asked all these questions about what happened between her and Chris, which is just mind-boggling. You know, you just all these years later, and we're finally gonna hear how Megan felt about the whole thing and what she thought about it, and you know, the whole situation is just crazy. You know, Chris was friends with Megan because they went to the same local game shop. You know, where Chris was a assistant Pokemon gym trainer or whatever the hell he called it. And, you know, they met there and they were friends. And then Chris, you know, tried to get, you know, a little touchy-touchy, lovey-dovey. She wasn't having that shit. Chris was disappointed that he couldn't get a girlfriend. And then, you know, he drew that picture of her. She got pissed. They cut off communication. But yeah. And funding for the documentary has been canceled apparently, which is pretty odd. It only reached $578 of the total fund amount. The total amount needed to get this project to be a reality was $20,000. Now you're probably saying, shit, that's a lot of money. You could buy like a used Corvette for that, you know, like a C5, a used C5 Corvette, right? And yeah, I agree, it is a lot of money, but you know, there's when you look into it, you know, the reasonings and stuff, and a lot of people have also said in other comment sections, you know, it's actually not that big of a budget. It's actually pretty low budget. So yeah, take that for what you will. I mean, I think you have to agree with a certain part of there. You know, the guy's actually going out of his way to go interview Chris Chan, and you know, that's going to be the booking for the hotels, that's going to be paying for whatever food he gets over there, that's going to be for flying over there, the tickets for that. That's going to be paying for the tickets to fly over there. That's going to be to pay Chris Chan money and his mother, because they're not doing these interviews for free, you know, and probably Megan also, and whoever else is in the video, they're probably getting paid too. The editor has to get paid. The software they're using, they got to buy that if they don't pirate it. And the film festivals also, as this guy was saying earlier, the rights, the, what do you call them, the permits you need to film in public, you know, zones and stuff like that. So it all starts to add up, you know, eventually. So I think 20 grand isn't that, you know, that much of a big deal in my opinion. But yeah, but apparently the project got canceled. Not sure why it got canceled, although there is talk that the folks over at the Kiwi Farms were behind it. I'm not entirely sure what that situation is. There's still kind of lost info there. Not everything is known right now. There's still some lost info right now. Not everything is fully known to the public. But I really hope this documentary does come out, because, you know, it'd be interesting to see all of this shit, you know, that's happened throughout the years. Like, hearing Chris's side of the story without, you know, his bamboozling antics, you know, distracting us. And it would be interesting to hear what, you know, Chris has to think about everything that's happened over these last years and what his mom thought about it. Unfortunately, his father isn't alive anymore. I would have loved to hear the lumberjack side of the story. And more importantly, Megan Schroeder is going to be in this. We haven't heard from Megan. I've never even heard Megan's voice until now. I didn't even know there was footage of her like anywhere. I think this is the only footage of Megan that exists online right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the funding was canceled. Hopefully, you know, whoever is having issues behind the scenes, they can sort this out. But if this does come out, this is definitely going to be one of the better documentaries on Chris Chan on YouTube. I think a lot more comprehensive, a lot more professional, a lot more artsy, I guess you could call it. I think really there's just too much unknowns from what happened to Chris and that new footage that I think people are going to be pissed at the Kiwi Farms if they don't release this footage. And I personally hope they do release the footage, because come on, there's a lot of shit that we'd like to hear from Chris and his mom Barbara. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about the Christian Weston Chandler documentary. I'll leave a link in the description where the Kickstarter page is, so you can read the full description for what the guy wants you to do. Leave it in the link down below. Anyways guys, as always, take care, and I'll catch you later, pimps.